Hello there, you beautiful soul. Welcome back to another plant-based cooking segment with Rebecca Munoz. Thank you to every person who has taken the time to join me on this channel. As you can see, I not only do holistic wellness tips with lifestyle changes, but also the implementation of amazing whole foods that help our immunity and help us vibe at a higher level. And so today I wanted to bring you a very simple recipe. I actually am a lover of pasta. I don't eat it often, but when I do, I love to infuse it with the colors of the rainbow. And so if you have been following my channel since I started, all of the recipes that I implement are very colorful, and I try to use vegetables that are in season. I haven't really done a lot of fruit dishes, and I also am not a big dessert person anymore, so I don't do that many desserts either. But I want, because majority of the time we're always trying to figure out what we're gonna eat, right? And so conventional meals don't have to be that daunting, and they definitely can be full of flavor. So today I already started, and as you can tell, I try to make my segments really short so that I can demonstrate how to do these recipes. I list all the ingredients that I use in the description box below my videos. And if you haven't had the time to subscribe yet, please do so. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I do upload new recipes every single week, as well as I just started a segment series for culture talks, and this is for my brand Cultured Society. So I'm going to be doing conversations with people that are implementing holistic lifestyles or that are just living a very freedom-based life. And so yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So right now I have about half of a cup of chopped onion, and it's a purple onion. So as you can tell, I try to chop, my veggies very finely chopped, and I love onion. Plus, it's a nice probiotic. It's really good for our gut health, our immunity. And so with purple onion and regular onion, I use that more for just an infusion of flavors. And especially when they're cooked, they take on a really nice flavor and give, the recipes just some oomph. And right now, I also have some chopped red bell pepper. And keep in mind that I try to do, vegetables that are organically sourced. I'm here in Las Cruces, New Mexico, so I tend to either, if I'm not shopping at a farmer's market, I'm more than likely shopping at a natural grocer's or a Sprouts, just because I know that the sourcing that they do is more sustainable. Especially natural grocers is very specific about where they source their fruits and vegetables, and even the brands that they implement in their store, they try to source from brands that are, again, sustainable. Last week I got a comment from a follower that talked about how zucchinis are genetically modified, and I can agree with that because a lot of vegetables and fruits are genetically modified. So it is really important that we know where we're sourcing our vegetables from. We know where we're sourcing our, fruits from, and trying to get, vegetables and fruits that are in season. Now, I live in a warmer climate, and so I'm going to be able to get fruits and vegetables oftentimes that may not be available on the East Coast, where if like squash or zucchini is only a summer vegetable, right? It may be easier to find in areas like New Mexico because we are close to the border, and so we are in warmer climates. So I just encourage you that you be very educated and understand that fruits and vegetables, or pretty much any food that you consume, that you're consuming fruits and vegetables, or just any types of foods that are going to be sourced in a more sustainable manner. Because with fruits and vegetables, it is a lot easier for our soil to get infused with herbicides, pesticides that gets into our fruits and vegetables, and it can be, toxic for our body. So you just want to make sure that you are, educating yourself more on what it is that you're consuming. And this is the whole purpose of this channel, is to educate and to give people more variety, because that is the biggest complaint I think with people trying to implement more plant-based living, and even transitioning to a full vegan lifestyle, is that you think that you're gonna have to give up a lot of foods, but in reality, you're actually gaining so much more because we have so much variety when it comes to plants. And so with the vegetables that I have in sauteing right now, you just wanna make sure that you lightly saute, and I usually saute my vegetables with avocado oil. I often talk about how avocado oil is an oil that if you heat it at over 500 degrees temperature, that it doesn't lose its nutritional value. And with olive oil, coconut oil, it tends to. And usually with those oils, I will always just use where I am not... I'm not heating them. And so like I'll use those in sauces, for dressings and stuff like that. But with anything that I'm going to heat, oftentimes I'll use an avocado oil. And so I have finely chopped, these are shiitake mushrooms. And so, with these dishes, you're gonna get a good source of protein. Oftentimes people think that the common question that I get from non-vegans is, where do you get your protein from? Well, there's a misconception that plants don't have protein, but your protein, if you're a meat eater, is getting its protein from plants. So why not go directly to the source? So all the dishes that I'm going to incorporate in my segments are all going to be infused with, high quality proteins, good carbs, good fats. And so you are not going to miss out on anything. And again, I try to make my dishes as colorful as possible. So right now I have the onion, the red bell pepper, and the shiitake mushroom sauteing. And I also have a bowl here filled with Lacinato kale. I'm a big kale lover and I love to use a lot of it. And so, in your dishes, if you are doing sautés, if you're doing pastas, there's really no limit to what veggies you can add. And I'm a big fan of kale just because, it is very earthy. It is a good source of protein. It is it honestly has a lot of really great nutrients in it. So if you can get kale into your, into a lot of your meals, by all means, definitely do so, because it is just a very earthy, it's so good. You can put it in salads. I've done a recipe with a vegan chili that I've done the kale, but you can also do spinach. You can do chard. Chard is another really good one, and I actually love to use chard for wraps. With kale, I like to have it a little bit blanched, so it's actually really good to saute it. It just allows our body to digest it a lot easier. And drop some. Excuse me. Went down the wrong way. So I literally you can saute these in less than 10 minutes. And I already have the pasta done. In fact, I really love to use the Tinkyada Pasta Joy. It's literally just brown rice and water. Excuse me. And drink some tea. The kale went down the wrong tube. So whenever I do use pastas, I try to limit the amount of ingredients that are going in to these pastas. So if you are gluten-free, this is a gluten-free option here for you. And what's great is that it doesn't get all mushy and stuff. And usually when I am cooking pasta, I try to always boil the water first. I'll add a little bit of oil and some sea salt. Once the water starts boiling, excuse me, went down the wrong way. Once it starts boiling, then you can put the pasta in there. And this one cooks pretty quick. You can cook it in about 10 minutes. And so when you drain it, you just want to add some cold water so that it finishes the cooking process. And so my noodles are already done. And I'm going to infuse this recipe with a New Mexico green chili. So I have about a half of a cup of New Mexico green chili in here. Now, if you're not from New Mexico, surprisingly, I've actually lived in like the Midwest where I didn't think that I would be able to get New Mexico green chili. But you can find it in the frozen section. And there's a brand called Bueno. I think it's called La Buena. I'll look it up, the recipe or the brand, and then I'll add it to the description box. So I'm a big spicy girl. If I'm not putting hot sauce on my food, I'm usually putting some type of salsa just because I really love, to give it a little bit of a kick. You don't have to. You can leave out the green chili. In fact, with this green chili, you can buy it in a mild, so it's not hot. It's just giving it a really nice flavor. And with pasta dishes, again, there's just so much that you can add to it. Like you can do bok choy even. You can do the spinach. You can do the chard. You can do, the different colored bell peppers. You can even do a meatless meat. So there's sausages that you can buy at the store. Today, I didn't really want to use any meat substitutes. I am getting a good amount of protein from my pasta as well as the kale and, the mushrooms and all that. So, this is going to be a good combination for me at this point. And with the sauce, I like to make my own sauce, but today, for the sake of time, I'm using an Organicville. It's an Italian herb pasta sauce, and I will put my preferred brands on the description box as well. And then I'm just going to add a cup or a half of a cup of halved cherry tomatoes. And so this is going to be like a good garden style pasta with a New Mexico green chili. And so now that these are nicely sauteed, because I don't like my vegetables too cooked, I like to just have them, a little bit soft. I'm going to go ahead and add my pasta in here. And then after I add my pasta, then I will go ahead and add my sauce. So this is going to be a really nice, you can even bake this and have it as a pasta bake, and it'll last you a while. This is a good amount of food. What I like to do is, because usually I'm only worrying about one meal a day, because I talk about isogenics in my segments a lot, but I tend to do a lot of smoothies, because with smoothies, it's so much easier for my body, and I've had a lot of digestive and gut issues. And so for me, it's all about my gut health and just making my digestive system work so much smoother. And so I've found what really works for me. And so typically my heaviest meal I'll have midday. So if I'm going to do my heavy carbs, it's usually midday, anywhere between 11 a.m. to about 4 p.m. is when I'm usually eating my heaviest meals. And then I will have a smoothie in the morning, something really light, and then I'll have a smoothie in the evening. And this is the concept of intermittent fasting. So your body just has a lot more time to recover. It's not overworking because, you've eaten heavy meals all day. And this is the best way to be able to repair your gut. And that is the ultimate goal with plant-based living, is just being able to digest properly, to be able to nourish and heal the gut. And then that way our gut is, sending signals to our brain, and we have, more mental clarity, we have more energy. And that's exactly what I've experienced in my journey with plant-based cooking and living, is that it's sustainable for me. I have more energy. I have more mental clarity. This is probably the most mental clarity that I've ever had. And so this is why I love to teach this lifestyle, because, food is everything. It directly communicates with our DNA. You know, it sends signals to our brain, like I said earlier. So everything that is happening in the gut is really affecting everything in our body. So I went ahead and just put the entire jar of the pasta sauce in here. And then, like I said, you can, you know, leave it as a saute, or you can even put it into a baking dish and then bake it for a few minutes, even if you like want to add cheese. So today I'm going to use the Follow Your Heart Parmesan that I'm just going to sprinkle on top. Actually, put this in a bowl so that you see what it looks like. And super easy dish, literally, like once you have all of your vegetables chopped and your pasta cooked, then it's such an easy meal. This is, you know, a great lunch idea, a great dinner idea, and there you go. That's it. So that is it for this week's segment, and I will see you next week. Thank you so much for joining me. Peace.